A world defined by divine signals. In the lands of the Beacon Wars, civilization has evolved around monumental structures known as beacon towers. These towering spires, hewn from ancient stone and intricately etched with symbols of celestial power, are more than mere lighthouses. They are the conduits through which divine will is transmitted. Like the rhythmic pulse of Morse code, streams of light and sound course from these towers, delivering cryptic commands that bind entire armies and kingdoms. For generations, these signals were seen as sacred ordinances, a direct communication from the gods that ensured order, justice, and prosperity. Each rival kingdom has learned to interpret and harness these divine pulses, crafting military strategy, religious dogma, and even daily life around the patterns of the beacon's call. In this universe, the act of signaling is an art as much as it is a responsibility, a tradition passed down by revered signalers whose lives are intertwined with the very fate of their people. The corruption, a dark force's ascendance. The equilibrium of this meticulously ordered world is shattered when a malignant force seizes control of the largest and most influential beacon tower. Once a symbol of divine unity, this tower becomes the epicenter of corruption. The dark force, its origins shrouded in mystery and myth, manipulates the tower's pulse, transforming the once hallowed signals into a tool of war. Now, instead of inspiring honor and unity, the modified Morse-like commands warp the minds of warriors, turning them into unwitting agents of endless conflict. Armies that were once bound by a sacred covenant now find themselves compelled by a relentless, sinister rhythm. The corruption not only destabilizes the kingdoms, but also fractures the very essence of divine communication, leaving the world teetering on the brink of chaos. Aryan Windcaller, the rogue signaler. At the heart of this unfolding calamity is Aryan Windcaller, a rogue signaler whose unique abilities and troubled past set him apart from both friend and foe. Once a protege in an esteemed order dedicated to maintaining the purity of the beacon signals, Aryan has become disillusioned with a system that now appears fatally compromised. His moniker, Windcaller, hints at his deep, almost mystical connection to the natural forces that govern the pulses of the towers. Haunted by personal loss and the scars of previous battles, Aryan is thrust into a role he never sought, that of the reluctant savior. With the corrupted beacon's signal twisting the destiny of entire nations, he is the only one capable of deciphering, and ultimately outwitting, the malevolent rhythm. His quest is both external and internal, to dismantle the dark influence pervading the tower and to reclaim the sanctity of the divine messages that once unified the kingdoms. The struggle across kingdoms. The narrative unfolds against a backdrop of sprawling landscapes and diverse cultures, each kingdom shaped by its own history and relationship with the beacon towers. Some realms, nestled amid craggy mountains, have long upheld a tradition of rigorous training in the ancient art of signaling. Others, spread across vast lowlands, blend the divine with the everyday, treating the signals as both guidance and ritual. As the dark force's influence spreads, alliances fracture and ancient rivalries resurface. Armies march under banners that were once symbols of hope, now twisted by the unyielding cadence of a corrupted pulse. The chaos is not merely military, it is spiritual and societal. Citizens begin to question the very nature of divine will. Temples and shrines, once bastions of sacred knowledge, are overrun by conflicting interpretations of the signals. In every corner of the realm, fear and uncertainty give rise to both fanaticism and rebellion. The mechanics of the beacon and its signals. Central to the mythos of the Beacon Wars is the mystical nature of the beacon signals. These transmissions, reminiscent of Morse code, are composed of pulses that carry not only orders, but also enchantments. In their untainted form, the signals imbue warriors with valor and clarity, ensuring that the divine commands lead to righteous causes. However, when corrupted, these pulses become erratic and malevolent. They override free will, turning noble soldiers into mere instruments of war without thought or compassion. Aryan's expertise lies in his intimate understanding of these signals. His ability to hear the subtle variations, the hidden cadences that reveal truth from deception, becomes his greatest asset. Throughout his journey, he embarks on a quest to decode ancient manuscripts, consult forgotten relics, and even enter meditative communion with the divine forces that once guided the beacons. His struggle is not only against an external darkness, but also an internal battle to restore balance between predestination and free agency. The journey and the stakes. Arian's journey is fraught with peril, sacrifice, and moral complexity. Along the way, he encounters a spectrum of characters: allies from secret societies sworn to protect the sanctity of the beacons, disillusioned warriors whose loyalty has been corrupted, and even figures from his past who now serve the dark force. Each encounter forces him to confront his own doubts and the cost of challenging a power that has long been deemed infallible. As Arian delves deeper into the mysteries of the corrupted tower, he unravels layers of a cosmic conspiracy, one that suggests the dark force may not be an external enemy at all, but an inherent flaw within the divine system. The fate of countless lives hangs in the balance, and with each passing moment, the lines between divine decree and human choice blur further. The climactic confrontation looms not just as a battle for control of the beacon, but as an existential struggle for the soul of the world. Themes and moral quandaries. At its core, The Beacon Wars is a story about the tension between fate and free will. The beacon towers, symbols of divine command, have historically provided order and purpose. Yet, when that order is subverted, the resulting chaos forces every character to question their beliefs. Is the divine will absolute, or is it subject to manipulation and misinterpretation? How much power should mortal beings wield in deciding their destiny? Arian's internal conflict mirrors these larger questions. His journey compels him to weigh personal sacrifice against the greater good, challenge established dogma, and ultimately decide whether to restore the old order or forge a new path that embraces the unpredictability of human will. The narrative challenges readers to reflect on the nature of power, the corruptibility of institutions, and the possibility of redemption even in the darkest of times. Conclusion. The Beacon Wars weaves a rich tapestry of mythology, political intrigue, and personal heroism. With rival kingdoms, ancient traditions, and a rogue signaler at its heart, the story offers a multifaceted exploration of how divine symbols and human agency intersect. As Arian Windcaller races against time to dismantle the dark force and reclaim the sanctity of the beacon's pulse, the fate of an entire world and the integrity of divine communication hangs in a delicate balance. This epic narrative not only promises grand battles and mystical wonders, but also poses timeless questions about destiny, free will, and the nature of true power.